So hello there, welcome you again to the TCube Gate classes. So this is the second lecture on the partial differential equations. Okay, so in previous lecture what we have done, I have introduced you the second order linear partial differential equations. Okay, and I have classified those into three different types, like your parabolic, hyperbolic and the elliptic. Okay, so parabolic is the heat equation, and your hyperbolic is the wave equation or the one dimensional wave equation, and I have told you about the elliptic, which is your Laplace equation. Okay, so today what we will do, we will go for the solution of those kind of differential equations or the partial differential equation, and the very prominent way or the method which is helpful to find the solution is the method of separation of variables. Okay, which is also referred as the product method. Okay, so let's move to the wave equation first. The hyperbolic PD we will assume, okay, or the one dimensional wave equation. Okay, here how you are getting this. I am not going deeper to the theoretical description of how you are getting the wave equation, but see what will happen if I will have, let us say, a perfectly elastic string, okay, which is fastened, or let us say this is fixed at both the ends. Okay, so I'll say this is an elastic string, okay, which is fastened in both the ends. Right, let us say the length of this string is your L, or x equals to 0 at this end and x equals to L will refer you to the next end. Okay, so now what will happen, this the wave or the deflection of any external stimulus we are providing to the string, that is governed by the wave equation, which is given as your dou squared u divided by dou t squared. Okay, so this equals to c squared and your dou squared u by dou x squared. Okay, so this is a second order partial differential equation or second order linear PD that I have already told you in previous class, and this is a hyperbolic PD. Okay, see here, this part will find you the acceleration, and this governing equation is found from the Newton's second law of motion. Okay, Newton's second law of motion, we have got this one. So where this is the acceleration, okay, u is treated as, so here the unknown function u, we our objective is to find this u, which is the deflection along the string. Okay, this is the unknown function. Okay, so here the first part, the left hand side, we will have the acceleration. Okay, and this c squared is depending on the tension and the mass per unit length. Basically this c squared is t open the row, which is t, where t is the tension, and we used to assume the tension as the constant, okay, for the elastic string, divided by, this is the mass per unit length, and which is again considered as the constant, okay, unit length. Okay, so these are not much important, but let's go to the solution of this one and how we are using the method of separation of variables. Okay, and related to this, how we have to use the boundary conditions and the initial condition. Okay, so let me change thing and I'll show you the boundary conditions. I have told you that this is fastened in both the ends to avoid the gravitational force, basically, if I'll just provide a external stimulus. Okay, so with boundary conditions, u at 0, that means at this end, irrespective of the time, is your 0, and u at the other end, this is again 0. Okay, So now it will again depend upon the initial deflection and the initial velocity. Okay, so those are called the initial conditions basically. Okay, and it depends on the initial velocity and let me say this is the initial deflection, initial deflection and initial velocity. That means what? At time t equals to 0. Okay, so now we'll write the initial deflection as, so let us say u at x and 0 is a function of x. Okay, and the second part is your ut or the dou u by dou t. I can say in previous class I have told you that u at x 0 is your initial velocity, whatever you are going to take here is your g of x. Okay, right. So now what is the method of separation of variables? I will explain you now. Okay, method of separation of variables. Okay, right. So this is a very prominent way to solve the these three kinds of equation we have taken. The first, what you will do, you have to consider this u, which is a function of x and t, okay, as the product of two different functions. That means one is a function of x and the other is a function of t, right. So now the next step is we have to substitute here in this equation. Let me assume this is the equation 1. Okay, so now what I will get in place of this equation 1 becomes, I will write that equation 1 becomes whatever the wave equation we have. So this will be the partial derivative or the second partial with respect to t. So I will get the function of x and the derivative of g or the second derivative of g with respect to t. Okay, oh sorry, this is your right, it was right. So g, so this double dot I am referring to the derivative with respect to t or the ordinary derivative with respect to t. Okay, and the c squared times your f double dash is referring the ordinary derivative with respect to x. Okay, and g of t. Okay, so now what you can do, we can separate the variables or we will get two different ODEs out of this. Okay, so that means what I will do the manipulation as your g double dash t divided by c squared g of t. So this is the ordinary derivative, so this is related to the time, okay, or t, and f double dash x divided by your f of x. Okay, so this is definitely a constant. So generally what happened, we used to consider this as a negative k or a negative k or constant, let us say. Okay, so there is what the justification for this, why we are taking this always is negative, because for k is positive, since here you just remember that if k is greater than or equals to 0, the solution is not possible. Okay, the solution is not feasible. So now what I'll do, I'll go for the two different equations. So one is related to g related to t and other is related to your f. Okay, then we are going to use this boundary condition. Okay, so let me go to the next page. So now what happened, so g, so first of all I'll write in terms of x whatever we have. So f double dash x, okay, so this is x plus k times the function f equals to 0. This is the first ordinary differential equation. Okay, so and the second one I'll write. Okay, so here I'll get that f by using the auxiliary equation. You all know that because you are the final year or the pre-final student. Okay, so I'll consider that. So you'll get your a times cos of square root of kx, okay, plus b times sine of square root of kx. Okay, because the roots are what, here the roots are I don't know in which term you are flexible with. Let us say your r, we are taking the e to the power rx is the solution here. Okay, so r is your plus or minus square root of k I think you all know this, and by using this one, because you have the complex conjugate roots, I can write in this form. Okay, so now let's go to the boundary condition. That means here we have taken that u at 0 t equals to what? In terms of the separation of variables, I can write it as your f at 0 times g of t. Okay, because the g as a function of t, it cannot be 0, so this will be 0. Okay, so which implies what? We'll get, so this equals to 0, that means we'll get your f at 0 equals to 0. Okay, so now it implies that a equals to 0, so you'll have no term related to your cosine here. Okay, so let me just erase this one. So this will go to 0, so we are left with only this one, and we'll go to the second boundary condition we have. Okay, so second boundary condition we have is your u at L t, that means I'll get your f at L and g of t. Okay, so this equals to 0, and we can assume that f at L equals to 0. Okay, which implies your b times sine of square root of k L equals to 0, right? Because this cannot be 0, right? So I'll get your square root of k L equals to n pi, because sine of some n pi is 0, that means your n is a positive integer. Okay, or the non-negative integer I'll consider. Okay, so n is 1 2 3 4 like that. Okay, so that means I'll get your k equals to n pi by L squared, right? Is it right? Okay, so now let's go to the second ODE we have, which is related to the time or t, is your g double dash t plus c squared k g of t equals to 0. So that means here what I'll get, again I'm ignoring the next step, which is here I'll get your, let us say your b. So let me just write this. I forgot to write something. I'll come to this point. Wait. So what happened, this function whatever we have got, will have, depending on the n, you will have different values of this. So here what I'll do, I'll set b equals to 1, whatever the constant we have got here. Okay, and what I'll get, your fn x. Okay, so which is your n sine of n pi x by L. Okay, so where n is a positive integer always. Okay, so now to the second ordinary differential equation we have, which is just g double dash t plus c squared k and g of t equals to 0. You can find it in the previous page I have written. Okay, so that means I am avoiding the one of the step, which is finding the auxiliary equation and all those. So I'll write here, let us say this is your bn cosine, what do I write, in place of k will have or the square root of k will have the n pi by L, right? So I will write your n pi c by L t. Okay, plus cn, let us say your sine n pi c by L and t. Okay, so now what I will assume, this n pi c by L whatever you have, I will consider that as lambda n, say. Okay, cos of lambda n t plus cn sine lambda n t, right? So where, so what we have got, because these are all related to your n, for different integer you will get a different value of g. Okay, so that's why what I'll do, I'll consider this as also the g subs n. Okay, rather than only the g. Here as you have taken for different n, you will have different value, a different function here related to your f. Okay, so now this lambda n, these are called the eigen value of the given wave equation. Okay, so here I do write that un, because for different n we will have different function for your f and g. Okay, because fn and gn, so I will write this as your un xt, which is your fn is this, that means I will consider this as a bn cosine of lambda n t plus cn sine of lambda n t times this one. Okay, that means your sine of n pi x by L, where your n equals to 1, 2, 3 and so on. Okay, so these are all called the eigenfunctions. Okay, eigenfunctions, and this lambda n, these are called the eigenvalues, or this will find you the frequencies, and eigenfunctions, this will find you maybe the the mode shapes, right? So now as you will have the infinitely many solutions definitely. So by the principle of the superposition, what you can do, we can take the sum of all and we will get the general solution of this. Okay, and we have not yet used the initial conditions. We'll go for that because we are going to determine this Bn and Cn, okay, or the constants. Okay, so I'll directly write those terms. Okay, so the general solution of this wave equation is the sum of n running from 1 to infinity and your Bn cos lambda n t plus Cn sin lambda n t and your sin n pi x by L. Okay, so where n belongs to the positive integers. Okay, so now using the initial so these are all the process of your method of separation of variables to solve the PDE. Okay, so using the initial condition, or I'll write the, okay, just write the initial conditions. That means whatever we have taken the initial deflection and the initial velocity. Okay, so we'll get your Bn. I am not going detail on this to calculate. Okay, so you'll get Bn as your 2 by L, 0 to L, and the function and your sin n pi x by L and the integration with respect to x. Okay, similarly this Cn will be your 2 by n pi c, okay, 0 to L, and the function we have taken related to your derivative or the initial velocity is g, so you'll get n pi x by L and this. Okay, so now, so this is called so these are the Fourier coefficients. Okay, so this is actually or okay, these are called the Fourier coefficients basically. Okay, so or this is the Fourier series solution of a wave equation or the hyperbolic PDE. Okay, so now we'll go for the heat equation. Okay, though this is a bit boring for you or something, but this is and in next class probably we'll go for the PY case, okay, or the previous year questions. So in a heat equation, what happened, you consider I'll write here that let us say we have a finite bar. Okay, so this is a uniform bar or homogeneous uniform bar. Uniform means what I am trying to say, that bar is of the constant cross section. Okay, and this is made up of the homogeneous material. Okay, okay, so it is insulated at both the ends. So here I do write that it is insulated at both ends. That will find you the boundary conditions. Okay, that means initially if we will provide some heat source here. Okay, that means that can be a sinusoidal or your what do I say, the triangular. So there are a lot of kind of the heat or resources you can provide to a resource you can provide to the given finite bar. Okay, so here your x equals to 0 and this is your x equals to L. I'll consider the length of the uniform bar as this. Okay, L. Okay, so now the heat equation is generally represented with your or governed by dou u by dou t equals to c squared and dou square u by dou x squared. Okay, so if I'll extend this concept to the rectangular plate. Okay, that means instead of taking a finite bar, if I'll consider a rectangular plate and I'll find the heat flow through that rectangular plate, that will be called the what, the Laplace equation, and that is also related to your steady heat flow. Okay, so here this part will change, find you the rate of change with respect to time, the temperature. Okay, so this u here will find you the what, the heat flow. Okay, as in the previous case we are finding the deflection along the string. So here this will find you the heat, okay, or the temperature, heat at any moment. Okay, so this c squared, this is called the thermal diffusivity. Okay, okay, and this is something we'll say that what at any point what is the, whether this is hotter or cooler, that means what is the average of the surrounding points at any point if I'll consider for the finite bar. Okay, so whether the how much cooler or hotter, this is from the average of the neighboring points. Okay, so the proper justification is not given anywhere, you cannot find, but this is found by using the divergence theorem probably. Okay, so related to this heat equation, what I will do, this is the rate of change with respect to time. Okay, or I will say the velocity also, means the velocity of the temperature, like that. Okay, so dou u by dou t, this is the rate of change of temperature or heat with respect to time. What is it? Heat with respect to time. Okay, so now the boundary conditions here, because these are insulated both the ends, I'll get here with boundary conditions because you have the partial with respect to x second, so you'll get two boundary conditions. Okay, so that means your u at 0 t equals to 0, and this is also same for u at the other end. Okay, or the temperature heat at the other end, that means it will be frozen or it is the temperature is kept at 0, so let us say. Okay, so and initial conditions or the only one initial condition I do need, because the first partial with respect to t. Okay, with the initial condition u at x 0 is your f of x. That means initially what is the source you are providing, that means a sinusoidal or a constant or a triangular heat source. Okay, so accordingly we will find the solution. Okay, so now see what is the difference here. If I will use the difference between the wave equation and the heat equation, you have this, there you have the second partial, here you have the first partial, so that's why there is a little manipulation here in this case. Okay, what happened, this term will not this term will be vanished, you will have a different term related to this. Okay, so I'll write the solution directly and I'll write again the Fourier coefficient. Okay, so the solution of the heat equation will be the particular solution of heat equation. This is also one dimensional heat equation because you are taking a finite bar and the temperature will flow through the x-axis or along the x-axis. Okay, so u, which is a function of t, x and t, will be your sum of n running from your 1 to infinity. Okay, your bn, I'll get your sine n by x by l. Okay, and d to the power minus lambda n squared t. Okay, let me check, otherwise I cannot I should not commit any kind of mistake here. Okay, yes, we'll get this one. Okay, see why there is this issue, I'll show you. See, this is fine, the second order partial difference, the second order ODE you will get related to x. Okay, if I'll consider the the separation of variable, but you cannot get the second order ODE related to your time t, that means related to g. Okay, so here you will get a first order, and I'll just consider I can consider that you will get that solution. That means you will get your g dash g prime, or what do I say, let me just find you the solution roughly. Okay, so that means you will get the first order as your g dash t. Okay, plus let us say your c squared and k g, which is a function of t, equals to 0. That means what, I'll get your g dash or g prime t divided by, okay, I should have written this as your g of t equals to c square k. I think this is correct. Okay, wait, this is your minus c squared k. Okay, so if I'll integrate with respect to t, here I'll get your ln of g, okay, and here you'll get your minus c squared k t. Okay, so this is what g, this is a function of t, is your e to the power minus c squared k t. In the previous equation, that means in wave equation, we have found this as your c squared k is e to the power minus lambda n squared t. Okay, because these are what the eigen functions. Okay, so we have taken for different values of this. Okay, I think you have got some clue how we are getting this one. Okay, so here your n belongs to again the positive integers. Okay, and this bn, where the coefficients bn can be found as the Fourier sine series as your 2 by L, okay, and 0 to L. The function you have taken, okay, the initial, I will show you. See, here you have taken the function, the initial condition. Okay, so here I will get your sine of n pi x by L, okay, and the integration with respect to x. Okay, so this is related to heat equation, and we'll now we'll go for the Laplace equation. This is just an extension of, what do I say, the heat equation to the two-dimensional plane. Okay, or the two-dimensional geometry. Okay, see here what happened, you will take a rectangular plate. Let us consider the rectangular plate. Okay, so here we will consider the steady flow or the steady heat flow in a rectangular plate. Let me say that the length is your a, this is along x, okay, this is the vertical axis, and the breadth has b. Okay, so here I do write that the heat is flowing steady, or the steady heat flow in the entire rectangular plate. Okay, so here the left side u is kept at 0, and again your this one is 0, and u is also here also 0, and at the upper side you will have some heat source, let us say the function of x. Okay, so now this Laplace equation is given as your, as an extension I can say that dou u by dou t, or the extension of your heat equation, dou u by dou t equals to c squared, in the two-dimensional we are referring dou square u by dou x squared, plus the second partial with respect to y. Okay, see what happened, if we are considering the steady heat flow, that means the heat flow is independent of time, that means this is time independent, here this term will vanish. Okay, so in this case I will write that here for the steady heat flow, this will be the heat with respect to time is 0, that means you will get the equation as your dou squared u by dou x squared plus the second partial with respect to y equals to 0. So basically this is the Laplace equation we have. This is an extension of the heat equation by assuming the steady heat flow throughout the plate. Okay, that means this is the entire region we have. Okay, so now what I'll do, the initial condition we will have, that means I'll consider u as 0, here also 0. So it will have only 4 boundary conditions. Okay, so what do I say, that u at here along the x-axis 0 and y 0, along y is 0. Okay, so along this one is 0, then your u at a along this is also 0. Next is your u at x and 0 x, the value of y, that means along this one is 0, and u x and your b, that means along that is your f of x. Okay, so these are the four boundary conditions. I'll show you. See, u at x, that means u at 0 and y, that means it is referring this one. Okay, along this side is this is grounded. Okay, because you don't know, the heat will not pass through this one. Okay, or the insulated, I'll say. Okay, similarly u at a y, that means I'll considering this face or this side. Okay, and u at x0, that means it is considering this one. And finally the upper side is heated, or upper side is provided with a heat source, this one. Okay, this part. Okay, let me just consider in the other way, in this way. Okay, this is here the function of x. Okay, let me write in the black ink here. So the solution is a quite the similar, that means we can use the product method or the variable separable method here also. So the solution structure I have, I'll just write for you the eigenfunction how you are getting, and the general solution for this, or the particular solution for this one. Okay, so the eigenfunctions, okay, of Laplace equation, that means which will find you what, the general, the particular solution or the general solution also, depending we are not, if we are not using the conditions. Okay, so eigenfunction of the Laplace equation is given as your un, which is a function of x and y. Okay, is your an sine of n pi x by a. Okay, and sine of, or hyperbolic sine of n pi y by a. Okay, so that means what you will get, the general the particular solution here, so if you will use the variable separable, definitely you will get this as the eigenfunction. Okay, so the particular solution of the Laplace equation is, that means the as per the simple the principle of superposition, I will take here the sum of all, here n belongs to here the positive integer. Okay, so an sine n pi x by a. Okay, and your hyperbolic sine, so h, and your n pi y by a. Okay, so where this Fourier coefficient an is your 2 by a and 1 by sine hyperbolic n pi b by a. Okay, and 0 to a is the integral for your f of x sine of n pi x by a, and you have to integrate with respect to x. See, this expression are quite complicated for you, I think, but what happened, the solution structure, at least you know that how the solution are coming. Okay, that means, see, here you will get the solution as your Fourier coefficient we have. Okay, so I'll show you. So we have a Fourier coefficient, okay, and sine and the hyperbolic sine. This is the structure of okay, so this is the eigenfunction. Okay, still you consider this. Okay, so that means you will have two different functions, sine and the hyperbolic sine. Okay, as your n pi x by a and pi y by a. Okay, similarly for the heat equation, what you will get the Fourier coefficient. Okay, the Fourier coefficient is bn, and your, this is a Fourier sine series you will get. Okay, so this is your sine n pi x by l and e to the power minus lambda n squared t. Okay, so I have already explained you here how you are getting the g. Okay, then here in the wave equation you have two different Fourier coefficients again. Okay, so this is one bn and your cn. Okay, so you will have the cosine and sine and the sine n pi x by l. You try to remember and keep a note out of this, means how you are getting this all this, because I have only explained for your what, the wave equation, and you can find the for the heat equation and the Laplace equation also. I know you can find it. Okay, so if you will have any kind of doubt, you can ask me, and you try to solve as many problems you can. Probably in next class we will solve as many previous year questions related to your partial differential equations. Okay, so Don't worry for the complications here what you are getting, but this is the method of variable separables, okay, or the variable separable method, or the product method you can say. Okay, so this is from my side for today, and wish you all the luck.